I have just come home from a trip to New York where I got to see my dad, who I haven't seen since my wedding, like 2 years ago to the day. Almost. It's not the day. I don't know my actual anniversary, which is it's June 5th. My wedding album is right here. I am a daddy's girl through and through. I love that man very much, and I feel like so much of who I am is because of him and who he is. Like, I even hear him when I talk in my own voice sometimes. So I had a really nice time visiting him in New York. Sorry, now I'm just lost in my wedding album. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to that later. But I had a really nice time visiting him in New York. So this vlog is just some random clips of my time there with my dad. I'm just gonna walk you through it. So I got on a plane at like midnight on Monday night. It's called a red eye. And I flew in and I got to New York at about 9 a.m. And I was a crusty dusty, literal sea urchin monster. Why is that me right now? My dad had a really cute idea where he wanted to do a little vlog on his end. Oh, my glasses are still crooked. My life is so tragic. This is why I have a headache all the time. Because my glasses are freaking crooked. They're really freaking crooked. My dad had this cute idea where he wanted to do vlogs on his camera too. So when you see the footage and it's shot the wrong way, that's my dad vlogging.
Where do you suppose your sister is? Where do you suppose is she over there? No, she's over here. Oh wait, no, over there.
Cooper? Hi, Coopy. Cooper, are you a city boy? Are you a city dog?
So my plan is to just have my voice and my hands visible and to not have my face, but to not make a big deal out of it, not to have that be contrived. And so the audience will be watching this vlog for 2, 3, 4 minutes before they realize, oh, hey, aren't they going to show this guy's face?
Something I've always sort of like rolled my eyes at is that people from New York or who have been to New York are always talking about like the quintessential New York bagel or like New York has the best lox. And I'm just like, does it? Like, what's different about it? This is the trip where I gleaned a respect for the New York bagel and the New York lox. My dad took me to 2 really great places for bagels. We got them fresh as fuck. And we got this lox from this like dope ass lox place. Bottom line is, shit hits different. Only people who have tried it will know, and only people who have tried it can tell you that absolutely, unequivocally, there is a difference. And it goes so hard. I'm gonna get a bagel. Wow, I was gonna vlog that, but then I got scared because a group of 15-year-old girls came in and they're very intimidating. City girls. I think they were on the golf team. I heard something about playing golf. I was like, damn. This bagel, delicious. This brother, ridiculous. What are you doing in the shower, Cooper? Why are you in the shower, buddy? You like it in there? Okay.
I love you, you weirdo.
Oh, okay. I took a nap. You think you're gonna be able to sleep on a red eye and just get up and go, and that's a f***ing lie. Get ready with me to go to the Natural History Museum. I don't know what to wear and I'm panicking. It's devastating. It's a devastating fact. Might just stay in my little fit. I don't know. That would be devastating too because I packed 53 pound shit. Look at this hair. Is that a mullet? Cooper! I love hams. I think one of the things I love about the city is that it always feels like it's the 90s. Or maybe I just think it feels like the 90s because that's when I had the best times here. Okay, so I started off wearing the trousers and then I got nervous about... I'm filming.
Oh, you're talking?
Yeah, because you won't be able to hear me if you hold the phone.
If I talk? That's what I should do.
I started off wearing trousers and then I got worried about the chafe, so I changed. Layers, people. It's all about layers. Did I OOTD good? Did I do it good?
Cooper gets the same drool as when we walk in.
Oh, he's drooling? I freaking love a natural history museum, but I do have to say, I feel like the one in New York is low-key criminal because not only do they charge you an admission fee of like $25 or something, but then they charge you per exhibit. So your ticket doesn't just get you access to everything. You buy your ticket and then you have to spend another $25 to see the shark exhibit. So we didn't see the shark exhibit. And they charge you another $25 to see the butterfly exhibit. So we did not see the butterfly exhibit. And TBH, I am a little bit like, bleh, with that shit. And here is some steam coming out of a grate. Because if there's one visual of New York that's not a cab or the Empire State Building that you think of, it's a steamy grate, right? Also, where's the steam coming from? Why is it so steamy? That's fucking weird. It's your big face reveal in Times Square. If you know me, you know I'm a psycho dog mom, and I'm pretty sure that I get that from my dad, who's a psycho dog dad.
Just acting. I was acting. Most people wear them and go further down on the hip. Yes, maybe covering up under the eyes too. Yeah.
Is that a good one? Oh yeah, that's super cute. Day 2, let me see those hands. What did we just do, Dad?
This park is named in honor of Isidore and Eden Strauss, who lost their lives on the Titanic when it hit an iceberg and sank April 15th, 1912.
Did you get that hat on the Titanic? We just got bagels, is what I was trying to say. Growing up, I was really lucky because my dad would do a lot of things with me that like normal dads wouldn't do, like getting manicures and pedicures. And he never gets a color. He just likes to go with me and get a little mani-pedi. So we went and got mani-pedis. Will you tell me when the twist happens?
Here comes the twist. Abandon him around the corner. And then hype on him and say, boop, boop, hello.
And then I had to walk 13 blocks back to the apartment with nothing but these little paper flip-floppies that they gave me. We did not think that went through. I think my little shoes are on the wrong feet.
I think they're probably...
My favorite part of the trip was that my dad and I went to see a show every night we were in the city. So the first night we saw this beautiful dramatic play called A Doll's House with Jessica Chastain, and it was some of the most beautiful, selfless work I've ever seen an actor do. And I was so moved by Jessica Chastain's efforts on that stage that I like, if I could, I would be like, yo girl, thank you. You're a goddess. If you're in New York, go see A Doll's House. The second night we saw The Book of Mormon, which I have never like loved a musical so much in my life. It was so fun. I walked out of that play feeling like I wanted to believe in anything. And that anything was possible, and like I really wanted to. I think it's really funny that Trey Parker and Matt Stone like are constantly making shit that is so off the walls, bonkers, like weird shit. And it's always kind of inspired me. Like at the end of it, I'm like, I believe. But I loved it. It was super cool. If you haven't seen The Book of Mormon, like I hadn't, go see it. I think it's a good thing they haven't translated it to a movie because I think the only place it can live comfortably is in the theater. And the last night we saw Sean Hayes in Good Night, Oscar Levant. And that was another jaw-dropping, like heart-throbbing performance. Sean Hayes is one of the most talented men. This guy is a fucking genius. Sean Hayes, I want him to do everything. He's so fucking good. He's incredibly good at the piano. He was super committed to this role. He was in it. Yeah, so if you can, go see Goodnight Oscar Levant, and let's start a change.org petition to get Sean Hayes doing every fucking thing from now until forevermore.
Santo. Santo. You're very scary.
This is a gorgeous day in Manhattan, USA.
That's his dismount joke. One thing about me and my dad is we'll be dramatic if there's an opportunity to be dramatic. And if there's not an opportunity to be dramatic, we'll make one. Broadway is dark tonight. I know every word of that song. Why would you change it? See the old man sitting in the young man's bar, waiting for his time to die. On our way out of the city, I noticed that there was a like radioactive sign on the outside of my dad's apartment building that said fallout shelter. And I was like, well, what the heck is that? That's interesting and cool and weird. So I looked it up, and I'm just going to read you what I found online. Back during the Cold War, when the US and the Soviet Union were in a superpower battle for influence around the globe, the threat of nuclear war was a given that many around the world lived with. In response, fallout shelters were built across the United States, placed in apartment buildings, offices, or schools by the Federal Office of Civil Defense. These were the places where Americans were to go to take temporary shelter in case of a nuclear attack. There were 10,000 such fallout shelters in New York City and at least 200 on Staten Island. The Civil Defense Department was phased out in the 1970s, and the fallout shelters eventually fell into disrepair. The spaces they occupied were eventually repurposed. In 1982, food and medical and technology equipment were removed from the disused shelters as part of the Reagan administration's 7-year enhanced civil defense plan. The plan included restocking and re-equipping the shelters for the future. And then I believe they started removing the fallout shelter plaques from educational facilities because it was believed that those buildings were not properly equipped to protect from nuclear fallout. I also saw a TikTok the other day that said if you are in a nuclear blast or if you see the big bright fireball explosion, the first thing you should do instead of trying to locate the source of the atomic bomb is get down, put your tummy on the ground, and start breathing through your teeth, because the blast that comes after it is what kills the most people before radiation. And then after that, get inside and underground, underneath as much metal and cement as you possibly can, and wait for 48 hours at least before you try to go anywhere else. And when you do try to go anywhere else, try to avoid radiation exposure as much as you can. But in those first 48 hours, it is the most important time to keep yourself from being exposed to the radiation. So I hope you're glad you stopped by my vlog today, because maybe now you'll survive in the future.
The nuke around the goddamn block. Yeah.
Where are we going, Koopy?
Where we going, to the river?
Let's go to the river.
Okay.
Is that the river, Koopy? Koopy, fat poopy? All right, Dad, say hi to the vlog.
There's the vlog.
Where are we?
This is Essex, Connecticut. And this is the Northern Cove, and this was an active shipbuilding site.
During the Revolutionary War?
No, during the War of 1812. Actually, this was a shipbuilding site during the Revolutionary War, but many years later, during 1812, the British invaded Essex, and they came back here. There was a ship under construction called the Osage, and they burnt it. And there was one little kid, a 14-year-old boy in Essex, part of the shipbuilding community, defended the Osage unsuccessfully with his life. He did grow to be old and lost his judgment, said embarrassing things in public, and didn't take care of his hygiene. So that's the story of the burning of the ships.
And there's
His
the proof.
name was Austin Lay.
There he is.
He's a bad boy. He's a woof. Oh no, there he goes. Woof. Oh, he's a crazy boy. Oh no. Oh, he's a madman. Woof.
Stop that dog, he stole my wallet.
It's a real water sports community.
Did you say that because of those kids over there? One of the cool things about my dad's town in Essex, Connecticut is that it is one of the oldest towns in America. And this beautiful cemetery where they have graves dating back to the colonial era. And it is just so inspiring to walk through these generations and these families who have been in Essex, Connecticut, and to really get to take a moment and appreciate the people who made this country that we get to enjoy. And that's something that I really love about the East Coast. There's just a really strong feeling of what was.
What are you looking at, Koopy? Hi. You show me? Show me your view, buddy. Oh, it's so nice. Just sit and smell things. Oh, that's a good boy. Love you. Bye, guys. Love you, Koopy. He is so sweet. My goodness. Bye, Cooper.
And just like that, my trip came to an end. And I cried all the way home on the airplane because I'm going to miss my dad and my stepmom and my brother Cooper. And I love Connecticut. I specifically love small towns in Connecticut on the water. Like, oh my goodness, is that who I'm supposed to be? Am I a Connecticut cutie? But yeah, thanks so much for coming along on this trip with me and my family. And I hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, if nuclear bombs start dropping, you know what to do. And until the nuclear holocaust is upon us, I'll see you next Tuesday.